Hi guys, my name is Emily Garcia. I'm one of your academic success coaches this year. I know some of you, I've had the pleasure to see this semester and maybe go over some things that you're doing academically. For those that I have not met, I hope that I get to meet you soon. I always want you to feel welcome to book an appointment with me and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. So a couple weeks ago, I made a video about the Pomodoro method. It was basically a study method that helps you get things done, and if you haven't checked it out, it's with all of our other videos, so I highly suggest it. Today I'm talking about how to bounce back after getting a grade that you're maybe not so fond of. We shouldn't feel ashamed about maybe not doing as well as we think that we should or that we think that we want to. Sometimes we've done all that we can, and it just doesn't happen, the most ideal way possible. So today I'm just going to go over some tips and tricks that I've learned and that I've heard from others to kind of help you bounce back after that, because, it is nice to feel hopeful and to feel like you have a game plan. So, I would say if you do contact your professor, which I hope that you do not expect that they will give you extra credit. It is amazing when they can, and it is awesome, and it can really help your grade if they can, but sometimes they can't. And I will say you need to learn how to value their advice just as much as you would value the extra credit. Their advice could, help you on the next exam or help you with their next assignment that could boost your grade even more than extra credit would. So definitely don't sell their advice short. Really take advantage of it when you can. And some of the things that you can do with your professor is you can, email them or call them, whatever it is that you feel more comfortable with or that is available to you, and you can ask them if you are able to access your exam. A lot of times they cannot give out the Scantrons because it is classified information, but they will a lot of times let you view your exam as long as they are there. I'm not sure how they would do it online right now, but they could be able just to go over the answers with you and figure out what it is that you missed and maybe what it is that you need to work on for next time. A lot of times you don't get to know exactly what subjects you could have studied more or something like that, or that you missed, and it could be very, very helpful for you, especially when it comes to midterms or finals, to know what it is that maybe you're struggling on a little bit, or maybe you could study harder. Another thing that you can do with your professor is just talk about what it is that they think that you could improve on in terms of your grade. They know you. They know you at least to the level of professor and student, and if you feel like they don't know you well enough or as well as you want them to know you, be in communication with them, have them know you, offer, time to meet with them in office hours, or just explain who you are in an email, whatever it is that you think you can kind of get your personality across and get your goals across to this professor. It is important to find out what they think you could do to improve, and sometimes they can give you tips on what to study for the next exam, or sometimes they say, study more from the textbook, or study more from the PowerPoints or my lecture notes, or listen for keywords when I lecture. There's been many things in my history of being in school that the professors have said us to focus on. So never expect that it's the same for every professor, and even if you have the same professor for a couple classes, don't expect that they will do things the same way. Make sure to clarify, because it is your grade at the end of the day. It's not theirs. So you need to make sure that you're doing whatever you can to make sure that you do as well as possible. The next thing that I would advise doing is to make a game plan. After you've talked to your professor and figured out what tips and tricks you can use or extra credit that you got, make a plan on what you can do for the next assignment or next exam. Figure out what grade you need to pull your percentage or whatever it is, or points up to the desired amount, and figure out how you can get that. Something really useful that you can do is research different study strategies. You can come visit one of the academic success coaches like me, or like any of our other peer success coaches that are undergraduates, or other academic success coaches that are graduates. We can go over your learning styles, any study strategies you can learn or modify. We can go over test taking strategies. We can go over just about anything. Another thing that you can do is visit one of our tutors. That is something that if you are struggling with anything in general academically, like maybe you're having a little bit of a harder time with your science class or your math class, seeing one of our tutors is very helpful. And right now during the coronavirus time, we are seeing students online, so you don't have to worry about anything with that. Another thing that you can take advantage of is our SI leaders in sessions. Not all classes, unfortunately, have SI leaders, but a lot of the big classes and very common classes that people take do have SI leaders, and they're kind of like your second defense after a professor in terms of your classes. They can go over different materials that they think were maybe challenging or really important. Sometimes they give you handouts, they give you a bunch of different things, and they are very helpful. Definitely reach out to your professor and see if you have an SI leader if you do not know already. So the final thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about stress and anxiety and all of the feelings and emotions that either come along with it or that are similar to it. I know a lot of times when I'm taking a hard exam or working on a really tough assignment, I can get really stressed, I can get anxious, I can have a flooding of emotions, and it can be really, really hard to stay focused on the task at hand, which obviously is what you need, to do well. So something that I've learned that I want to share with you is mindfulness meditation. So basically the idea behind mindfulness meditation is that we already know that these thoughts and feelings are going to come into our head when we're trying to get these things done, especially when there are things that are really important to us. So this type of meditation helps you learn how to, accept these different feelings and emotions, not to judge them, and just kind of figure out how to let them flow into your head like a cloud and let them flow right out so that they do not disturb you and do not pull away from your focus. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to go sit down and get comfortable, and I hope that you can practice with me. Okay. So, like I said, we're going to do a mindfulness meditation now. Let me give you some background on mindfulness meditation. It has been found that practicing mindfulness meditation can help with stress levels, with memory levels, with just about anything. It can help your heart rate, it can help, temporarily your blood pressure, a bunch of different things. But, for this specific situation, we're worried about it lowering your stress levels, lowering your anxiety levels, and helping you and teaching you kind of to control those thoughts that maybe, come running into your head that get in the way of your test taking or of your assignment focus. So I'm going to run through a quick example on how to do mindfulness meditation. It's important to know that you don't have to sit down and do meditation to practice mindfulness. You can practice what they call mindful eating, which essentially is, really looking at what it is that you're eating and taking in all the senses, knowing what it smells like, what it feels like, what it tastes like, what it looks like, all of the different things, and eating it slowly and almost eating it with like gratitude. And just I think the idea behind mindful eating is to slow down and to really think about all the thoughts that are coming into your head, and especially focusing on the thoughts about the food that you're eating. People do mindful walking, feeling the ground underneath their feet and feeling every single step, and it's really just practicing focusing on one thing and keeping discipline on what thoughts you allow into your head or not. Like we say right now, you shouldn't let any thoughts that you don't want live in your head rent free. So, this is a good way to learn how to do that. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find a comfortable position. They do say you can do this sitting like I am. You can do this standing up. They say maybe don't do it laying down because that means, because your body thinks when you lay down that you are going to go to sleep. So sometimes it's better just to stand up or to sit or to walk, like I said, or to eat. But for right now, the meditation that I'm doing is sitting. So you're going to get comfortable, make sure you're wearing comfortable clothes. Find an area that is somewhat quiet. I know I can hear people working outside or, maybe people around my house, but try to get the most comfortable and most quiet, just really most serene spot where you can sit. It doesn't even have to be in your house. So the first thing you're going to do is just get comfortable. Really watch your posture. Make sure your shoulders are back, your spine is up, and you're just really comfortable. So You're going to keep doing this until you can really focus on your breath, until you can get yourself in a position where you're not thinking about anything else, as settled as possible. And sometimes that takes a few minutes. Sometimes it takes practice to really get to that position. But just keep taking those breaths and keep holding it in for those 4 counts. It really helps alleviate the stress. So as you're doing this breath work, you're going to naturally have thoughts come in through your brain and your mind. You're going to let them come in, you're going to acknowledge them, and you're going to let them flow out. You're not going to let them linger. You're not going to let them, live in your head rent free. You're not going to do any of that. You're going to let it go. And you're going to keep doing that. I know sometimes I only do this for 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Some people get up to 10 or 20 minutes. But some people get up even higher than that. Do whatever you're comfortable with. Make sure that you're giving yourself as much time as needed. Well, like I said, that was the last thing. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your semester. I hope to meet you guys soon. Bye!